Irrelevant Metallica, NICKO McBRAIN's revelations, and Anthrax are finally doing something most of their fans didn't even hope for anymore. Metal is life and well, so let's see what keeps it going today. Here you go. Irrelevant Metallica. Metallica finally kicked off the brand new 2026 leg of their massive M72 tour, which, by the way, as of right now, is already the longest lasting tour this band has ever had, and might actually be the longest metal tour ever. I mean, in history of metal overall. And during their first show in Athens, Greece, where they visited after not visiting for roughly a gazillion years, they broke a couple of records, with the most important one being the attendance record, with the official number being 85,000 people attending the stadium in Athens. But I was actually approached by one of our Greek subscribers, Yannis Fotis, who actually attended that show. And apparently the official reports in Greece state that instead of 85,000 people, there were actually 97,000 people scrambled into that stadium, with additional 13,000 people having their own party outside of the stadium to Metallica. So yeah, more than 100,000 people attending that show. And in fact, the party at the Oaxaca Stadium was so massive that Greek seismologists officially recorded an earthquake happening in Greece because of it. Yes, once again. And of course, a couple of days after that, Metallica went to Bucharest, where they of course broke yet another attendance record, this time in Romania, and I have a feeling that they will break a couple of those in the coming days. So yeah, next time someone tells you that Metallica is absolutely irrelevant today in 2026 and that no one actually likes their music, just show them this. Wait, guys, I just realized, did I really forget to switch the vinyl in the previous segment and recorded a segment about how awesome and how massive Metallica is with the Megadeth record behind me? Well, that was awkward.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Here guys, super quick, as always, just simply have to point out that only around 30% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to this channel, so if you're not one of those, and especially if this is not the first video you're watching here, I would really, and I mean like, really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing right now. Let's continue building this amazing heavy metal community together. Sad news from Benediction. Benediction are facing massive changes. Legendary British death metal stalwarts announced the departure of the longtime vocalist Dave Ingram, who, just a reminder, recently missed a couple of the band's shows because of some health issues. As revealed in the band's statement, Ingram suffers from arthritis, and in the last couple of months the pain only increased, making it virtually impossible for him to continue touring with Benediction. Yet nevertheless, the band promised that he will be returning on stage during some of the shows this year, just to say farewell to his longtime fans. Yet as of right now, we still have no idea when exactly it will happen, but the band promises that it will be announced in advance. Yet nevertheless, Benediction will continue touring, and for now, Dark Embrace frontman Oscar Rilo will be filling in for the upcoming Benediction shows in Germany, while some other Benediction fans will be able to witness history and the return of nobody else but Dave Hunt, who will be joining the band on Iron Fest and Mystic Festival, thus making his first live appearance with Benediction since 2019, when he was quite ironically replaced by nobody else but the returning Dave Ingram himself. Yet, as of right now, we still have no idea who exactly will be the permanent vocalist for Benediction. Yet, of course, we, just like the band themselves, would like to thank Oscar Rilo and Dave Hunt for making the next few shows possible. And, more than anything, wish Dave Ingram all the best and thank him for the incredible legacy he's leaving behind him. And here guys, a huge shout out and a thank you to all my patrons and all of the YouTube channel members. Guys, it is thanks to you and thanks to everyone who purchases Metal Pilgrim merch from around the world that I'm able to release these videos for you. And especially amidst all the craziness of being in Ukraine. So thank you guys, from the bottom of my heart. Bittersweet new Mastodon album. Fans of Mastodon, rejoice! According to Mastodon drummer Brand Daler, the band's 9th studio album is officially finished. Yet it will of course be the band's most bittersweet release to date, as it will be the band's first album without lead guitarist Brent Hinds, who left Mastodon last year less than 6 months before his death in a road accident. Yet at the same time, as Daler explained, this new album features all material written completely without Brent Hinds' involvement. And even more, Daler also said that towards the end of his tenure at Mastodon, Brent Hinds almost never showed up for the band's rehearsals. Yet, in all honesty, it doesn't even matter. It will still be a rather bittersweet record for all of the Mastodon fans. And by the way, for Brand Daler as well, as during the work for this album, Brand Daler also lost his mother, which of course added to the mood of this record. But nevertheless, new Mastodon album is coming out, and yes, it will also feature the band's touring guitarist Nick Johnston, and no, we still have absolutely no idea when exactly it will be released. Anthrax Startle. Okay guys, it's not a test alert! It's actually happening! After 10 long years since For All Kings, Anthrax have officially announced their new studio album titled Cursum Perficio, which will be released on September 18th this year, and already dropped the first single off of it. Now, first of all, talking about the album itself, the title is Latin for I Complete My Journey, which immediately made some fans wonder whether this could be the band's final album, and of which we already spoke, so I'm not gonna talk about it here. And Scott Ian actually went as far as comparing this new and highly anticipated record to Among the Living, which is about as bold of a statement as you can possibly make if you are Anthrax. But here's the thing, the first single off of it, It's For the Kids, is exactly what I hoped for. A short, fast, straight-to-the-point thrash attack that is basically a love letter to the fans, even with the video itself intentionally being designed as a throwback to Madhouse, featuring Anthrax's most die-hard fans from around the world. And honestly, I can't believe that this is happening. As for all of you who are new to this channel, well, for the last couple of years now, we've had this segment when we were checking whether Anthrax finally announced their new studio album. As just a reminder, I spoke to Frank Ballo about it 5 years ago, and he promised me that it would be out sometime soon. So, this point, honestly, this album was like a big myth to me. Something that you know might happen at some point, but you don't really believe in it anymore. You know, something like a distant fairy tale. But no, apparently it's real. Although to be honest with you, I'm still not 100% sure at this point. Because yeah, we've got a new song, and it rocks. No, seriously, I absolutely loved it. But still, I won't believe that Anthrax are actually releasing it until I physically hold it in my hands. And now the time has come for your favorite part of the video, so let's take a look at 5 latest metal releases from this week, which although did not get their own segments in this video, are still definitely worthy of your attention. Blue Medusa released Flying Monkey, the second single from Alisa Whiteglass's new band. Lyrically, the song explores the toxic and manipulative personalities often referred to as flying monkeys, a term borrowed from psychology and popularized in discussions about narcissistic abuse. It gives a much clearer idea of what Blue Medusa is about, not just heavy music, but songs built around deeply personal and emotionally charged themes. Periphery released a pale white dot via 3 Dot Recordings. This is the band's 8th studio album and one of their most ambitious works to date, created without imposing in strict genre boundaries on the songwriter. The title references the famous pale blue dot concept, pointing toward a broader philosophical and existential scope. Iconic released Tears Keep On Falling and announced their second album too, which arrives on July 31st this year via Frontiers Music SRL. One of the most interesting details is that the song was co-written by Joe Lynn Turner and another legendary name to a project that already unites some of hard rock's best-known musicians. The new album confirms that Iconic has evolved from a one-off collaboration into a fully active band. Fimbul Winter released Crowned in Ash, continuing the story that began on their debut EP What Once Was. The project was formed by former members of Amorth, making it notable not only as a new band, but as a collaboration between musicians who helped shape modern melodic death metal. The song expands on the darker and more atmospheric side of that sound. Propane released a song called Anger via Napalm Records. This is the band's first studio album in 11 years and the first full-length release since the death of founder and vocalist Gary Maskell's longtime collaborator Tom Klimchuk. More importantly, it marks a major comeback for one of the most defining names of New York hardcore infused metal. Deep Purple shocks. Legendary Deep Purple finally revealed the first single from their upcoming studio album Splat, due to be released on July 3rd via Ear Music label. And just a reminder, Deep Purple themselves promised that this album will be possibly the heaviest this band has done in a very long time, with the press release for the new song titled Arrogant Boy calling it an electrifying song in the style of Space Truckin' and Highway Star. Which, once again, is pretty big shoes to fill. But after listening to it, I gotta say that this description fits this song perfectly. And it freaking rocks. No, seriously, Deep Purple was one of my late father's favorite bands, so it was my introduction into the world of rock and metal. And that's why their 70s output means the world to me. I simply love it. And this new track definitely gives out that same vibe as their early material, although of course done in a very modern and a 21st century Deep Purple manner. So yeah, I gotta be honest with you, despite loving and very much respecting this band, I haven't really been excited about new Deep Purple music for quite a while now. But hearing this new song, and once again, when Ian Gillan and Roger Glover are 80 years old each, made me extremely excited about Splat coming up later this year.
The reputation of an arrogant boy, American boy.
Greta Van Fleet plays Possum. A little update on last week's news about a possible split of Greta Van Fleet. Spoiler, they're not splitting. After last week's cryptic video on social media sparking the rumors about American hard rockers split up, the band finally explained what it was after all, releasing yet another video titled "We're Back, Baby," sharing a fragment of them in the studio playing a brand new song and opening a new chapter of Greta Van Fleet. You see? Told you so.
Yep.
The Ozzy Osbourne biopic. Jack Osbourne, the son of the legendary Ozzy Osbourne, shared some news about the upcoming Prince of Darkness biopic, and according to his latest statement, they are moving ahead with the movie, with a rewritten script already being ready, and the movie absolutely happening sometime soon, but most likely being postponed to not earlier than 2028 now. As right now, the team is at the stage of selecting the right director for the film.
Why don't you fly? What's your name?
In addition to that, Jack also said that they've already landed on an actor to play the lead role of Ozzy Osbourne in the film, so the only thing they actually need to do is, well, to start shooting it now. And by the way, I actually think that such biopics are absolutely needed. And not because we metalheads need it, but because it might be a gateway to the wonderful world of Ozzy Osbourne and heavy metal overall to an absolutely new generation of fans, just like what we see with Michael Jackson movie today. So yeah, I am all up for it. Concert accidents. Flying objects were spotted at two different concerts in two different parts of the world. And no, unfortunately, neither of those was an UFO, but rather a result of misbehavior by the fans who threw things on stage. And thus on May 7th, during the guitar legend Eric Clapton's show in Madrid, Spain, a fan threw a vinyl album in its sleeve, striking the 81-year-old Clapton in his chest, abruptly ending the show and leaving the crowd without an encore. And this same week, a similar accident happened in St. Louis, Missouri. And unlike the Eric Clapton situation, ended not so well, as during the metalcore band's Bring Me the Horizon show, fan threw a cell phone that hit the frontman Ollie Sykes in his head. And although Ollie pushed himself to finish the show, he later admitted that he was feeling dizzy and was even given a concussion by that accident.
Tears that was sick. Teardrops.
And honestly, I will never understand this kind of crap. Seriously, you're paying a lot of money to see your favorite band, and then you just suddenly decide to throw things at them? Like, what is the reason behind it? Especially given the fact that it can seriously injure someone. So yeah, guys, I'm more than sure that all of you metal pilgrims would never do such kind of things, but still, please, never be like those animals who do that kind of stuff. NICKO McBRAIN's Revelations. And now another huge one for the Iron Maiden family around the world. The one and only legendary NICKO McBRAIN has finally officially announced his highly anticipated new memoirs. The autobiography titled in the most NICKO McBRAIN way possible. Yes. Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, boys and girls. NICKO McBRAIN from Iron Maiden here with you.
The book will be released on October 22nd and promises backstage stories, hilarious anecdotes, and a very personal look at his journey from the clubs and studios of London's Soho to becoming the octopus drummer for generations of Iron Maiden fans. And of course, will also inevitably touch on some of the very difficult chapters, including his stroke in 2023, his earlier battle with cancer, and the health issues that ultimately led him to retire from touring back in 2024. Which, once again, even today, several years later, still bring tears to my eyes just thinking about every time I do. And honestly, guys, I think the only other time I was hitting that pre-order button as quickly as I did this time was when Rob Halford was announced and confessed. Because yeah, if you ask me, if there's one Iron Maiden band member who definitely deserves his own autobiography and definitely has a couple of fun stories to tell, it is, of course, NICKO McBRAIN. And although I only read paper books and I don't really like audiobooks, but I think this time around I might actually get that one as well, given the whole fact that it will be narrated by nobody else but NICKO himself. Who, by the way, no matter what anyone may say, is still the best looking bloke in the band.
They still have the best looking bloke in the band there, I must admit.
Oh, and yes, of course I will be leaving a pre-order link for all of you in the description to this video. And here, guys, as some of you might know, my birthday is coming up next week. And for my birthday this year, I actually am hoping to see both Metallica in Frankfurt and Iron Maiden in Sofia. So if any of you are attending any of those shows, I would absolutely love to hang out and have a pint of whatever you guys drink together with all the metal pilgrims from around the world. So A, if you see a crazy Ukrainian with the Metal Pilgrim merch on, well, there's a high chance that it's me, so please do not hesitate to say hi. And secondly, if you're attending those shows and you want me to bring you some Metal Pilgrim merch and save on shipping, I actually added a concert pickup option at the metalpilgrim.net website, and I'll be more than happy to bring it to you and drink to it together. But yeah, super excited to see as many of you as possible. But anyways, what new music did you listen to this week? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Please don't forget to like it, comment under it, subscribe to this channel and spread the word about it. And of course, join our communities on Instagram, X, Threads, Discord, Facebook, I mean, anywhere else you can post content these days. But most importantly, thank you guys so much for all your support, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!